Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this new conversation of Thinking with You Lifelong Learning Encounters. And today we've got the great pleasure to have with us very special guest. We've got Magaga, right from Kenya. So, Magaga, how are you?
Thank you so much. I'm doing good, and I'm grateful for this invitation. It was a good moment to have a conversation with you.
Okay, so, well, I know you a little bit. We've connected several times, we've collaborated on some project, but some people might not know Magaga. So, who is Magaga? Could you tell us?
Well, Magaga is an educator, a passionate educator for that matter, and I'm also very, very actively involved in increasing access to quality education, especially among vulnerable communities. And that has so much to do with my background story, my experiences growing up. So that's what I do. And in Kenya, I work with an organization called Beats for Education. So Beats for Education is an organization that is based in the United States, but has its impact in Kenya, supporting the education of girls from vulnerable Masái community. Other than that, I also run some advocacy projects within my community that includes arts integration, or rather integrating arts in teaching science, that's to make it engaging and fun, and just to give learners chances to participate in their learning process. Other than that, I also try as much as possible in the community to create platforms where girls can get their voice. And that's really important because that to me reminds me how we connected. Yeah, I can talk about that all the time,
Mhm. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about this. I remember, I don't know, perhaps I don't know if it was 2 or 3 years ago, we connected through LinkedIn, I think. We had this
Mm-hmm.
first conversation, and I
Yeah.
think we clicked and we say, okay, what can we do together? And then we had another meeting, I think, with other people from Thinking with You, and
Yeah.
then what happened?
Well, first thing that normally comes to my mind when I think about, you, Emmanuel, and the organization Thinking with You is I remember the very first thing that came to my mind when I saw the name of the organization, like Thinking with You. And I was like, come on, yeah, I need someone to think with me right now. So it was fascinating. And I realized the moment we had our first conversation, I knew that I think I'm going to have so many more conversations after this with this guy because there is so much to share. Our energy is so kind of rhyming. And that was really nice. And I like this because when we met, it was a point I was thinking about various ways to actually increase the capacity to give girls voices, to actually reach out to as many people, and also to feel important because see, we're important in terms of who they are. And my friend, you came my life perfect stage. Yeah, and I like how basically I like your questions because when I had something bring inside me, and your questions led me to digging deeper into these thoughts to bring them to the surface. And I think that's exactly what you did, and I think that rhymes so well, perfectly well with the name of the Thinking with You, because for me, I think you were there to think with me, and not just you. You were generous enough to introduce me to a team who really brought this energy. And my girls got this amazing, amazing welcome and amazing, insightful questions that further deepened their exploration to issues that affected them. So yes, and I think we needed that. So much change we've seen through working together, through collaborating with you to produce something that is meaningful to the society. And that's really amazing. Really.
Yes,
I
it
think
is.
it is.
So I remember perhaps the second or third time we connected, and you organized a virtual visit of your school, and the girls, there were 2 or 3 girls, they were the guides. So you took us all around the schools, outside, to the garden, from the entrance. It was great. And at some point, we faced the door, and I think they were the door of the library, I think, and the door opened, and all the girls,
exactly,
they started to sing. As it was like goosebump. It was amazing. It was a very powerful moment. Yeah.
Exactly. That reminds me, it's always wonderful. I like that moments because when girls can just combine, be together and do something they love, be it what dancing, singing. And I think that goes a long way into reminding them about the beauty of the present, the beauty of the present. Yeah. We want them to be good people. We're training them to have these skills, but also it's very important for them to enjoy the present. So yeah, I generally love the songs. Some of them up to date, I do not know what they mean because I'm struggling to actually get all the local dialects represented in the school. Yeah. It's just amazing to see the joy oozing out of their faces when they're engrossed into singing. Really nice. And I have to thank you so much for creating time for them to sing for you. I realize that it's also very nice for them to know that there's somebody that actually they're singing for the first time, and then you were enjoying, and that was really, really nice. I think that was the energy we needed to begin our conversations and our connection and collaboration and everything else.
Yeah, and I also remember right after the song, we asked them if some of them wanted to share something to introduce themselves. And I thought first, well, perhaps they won't dare, but all of them, they all wanted to do it. It was great, really. Yes. Very open. Yeah.
I always tell them that it matters a lot who they are, and they should be proud of who they are and not shy away from sharing with the world about who they are, where they come from. Because the stories, when they tell them, it speaks to them. They reflect in the stories and it reminds them of the type of person they want to become, what they're preparing themselves towards. And I've always told them too that there's so much good in acknowledging who you are and where you come from, and appreciating your humble beginning. Now, you realize that most of the girls, as you heard from them, come from very, very big families. Like we have one of the students that has 40 siblings. Polygamy is a common phenomenon among the Masái communities. So they have these big families, and sometimes it's when they come to school and they're like, because our school, high school setup, they're around 100 girls. And when she comes to school and she sees the 100 girls, for her, that looks like 2 families, because if one family has 40 and a girl has 40 siblings, so they come to this, and that's beautiful. And from that, and what they have to learn, they should be intertwining the knowledge and using the knowledge of the present in defining where you're headed to. So thank you again for actually having a moment to listen to them and them feeling so free to share with you. I think they also loved the idea that it was a moment to think together, because Emmanuel is from thinking with you.
Yeah. And it's true. And they were girls from from different ages. I remember 11, 12 years old, a bit older. They were girls at university, and also girls who had gone through your school and who are now working. And we had this group where they're all mixed. And it was so interesting, because I think the first encounter was just to listen to them. I mean, what do you want to tell? And we learned so much about what we're just talking about there, their cultural background, the differences, and also what they live on a daily life. So that was the first point. And after we, with their permission, well, we co-designed the following. Actually, all the sessions were co-designed. It was very interesting. And the following one was with people we trust from our ecosystem. Were invited, and we had also more conversation. And then they presented something, and they presented it how they wanted it. Some of them sang, some dancing. Wow, it was really incredible. I think that day they were the teachers. They are the masters. Yeah.
And that's the point. And that's the point, when they feel like they have the capacity to be themselves, be teachers and speak and be heard. Well, that is important for me, Emmanuel, because you might have known from the girls themselves that from their communities where they come from, ladies have no voice. Well, they do have a voice, but there are in specific environments where their voice count, like in their families, their voice count in the kitchen. But the Masái community is a community where very important decisions are made, but women do not take part in them. So, and that is a problem. So imagine a girl like that, where a girl coming from a community where their voices are not really that much given emphasis, and then comes to a class and finds a male teacher, Mr. Magaga, standing right there and asking a question. Hello, good morning. We want to learn about this, but first, tell me, what do you think about this? And they're like, what did he say? Did he ask us what? Did he just ask us what we think? Is it for real?
Wow.
Who cares what we think in our community? Who cares? And he's here asking us. So you see that transition, it's so much. So we are trying that before we can accept them as students, we try to teach them some self-advocacy skills. And we try to integrate critical thinking in our instruction delivery methods, so that they can know that it is their thoughts that drive our lessons. Now, particularly in regards to this workshop that you so far much helped me with, and you helped my community, and the thinking of you collaborated with Beats for Education to give these girls platforms. This came as a point when I was trying to, think through my role. Now, Beats for Education, I work as the communication and outreach coordinator. And that means that I should be there, be the face of the organization, tell people about the organization, and tell people about the lives of the girls. But meeting you and sharing moments with you and having our usual conversations challenged me into what we are doing back here, what I am doing as far as my role is concerned. And I kept on thinking, come on, what if I empowered the girls to speak about themselves for themselves?
Yeah.
And how can this be done? And that is how, my friend, Thinking with You came into the picture. And we brainstormed together. And through your amazing support, we created 3 different workshops where the girls, as you say, were the teachers, and they could speak about what they perceive as the challenges that girls face in their communities. And not only that, they went ahead and brainstormed on what they think are the possible solutions. And look at this. We used our network, Thinking with You network, Magaga's network, Beats for Education network, Education Friends, and we invited people who we trusted, people whose role were to listen and ask insightful questions that further gave the conversations more light, allowing the girls to speak even further and allowing them to be in the moment, enjoy themselves, feel like they can sing, they can dance, they can ask questions, they can answer. And this was something special because it was not only involving girls at high school level. No, it went ahead to bring girls, even those who are in college, those who had finished the BEADS program and now are working, and they were able to come together and form a community where they could brainstorm these challenges. That is one great success in my career. Having known that I can create a platform together with collaboration thinking with you, where girls can feel equipped, confident to speak about matters that affect them. That was a big success. And hence the name. Yes, you thought with us. And thank you for that.
Yeah, it was really an amazing experience. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I mean, you say that now you've got about 100 girls there, and some of them already gone to university, got jobs, and you know, Magaga, we love stories. Okay, we love stories. Could you share any stories about some of those girls, any experience to illustrate what's happening there?
That makes the two of us. I love stories myself too. Now, I'll give you stories about some of the girls, actually many of them, but I'm going to pick a number, maybe a few, two, or maybe just one or two in the case. I'll give you a story about one specific girl called Rebecca. In here, we call her Rebecca the change maker. Rebecca the change maker. So these are Masái girl who come from a very, very large family. And Rebecca in total, they have like 32 siblings alive, 32 siblings kicking and very nice. And this is amazing when I realized this is really amazing. The dad has 6 women, and she came to BEADS. She was rescued after she was barely in grade 6 when she was a victim, or she was a victim of being married at that very, very young age. But lucky enough, BEADS worked with the local authorities, like the assistant chief, and she was identified as a girl who was at high risk, and then intervention was in time, and then she was able to continue. BEADS was able to isolate her, and she was able to go through school, finished grade 8, and then joined. Now, surprisingly, this girl, I just love talking about her because of the transformation in her, and her stories give me moral satisfaction so much into waking up every morning and going to my work. Because what happened is that this girl became very, very aggressive to actually identify who she is and what she can achieve, having the opportunity to have gone to school. And she did not waste any time.
Hi, Magaga, we've lost you. Problems with the connection.
So apologies. Rebecca just took the best, knew how to harvest opportunity where there was one. So this is a girl who, through our enhanced curriculum at BEADS, we have enhanced curriculum where we teach leadership skills and also living in harmony with nature. And then she grabbed both of them, equal mix, leadership, living in harmony with nature. And this girl just visualized where she comes from, the Amboseli regions, and how the impact of drought. And then she was like, no, we like reading this book from Greta Thunberg about things that I can do to make a change. Nobody's too young to make a change. So she got inspired, and she was like, hey,
what can I do back at home to make a change, especially towards climate change? And then from outside the blues, she came up with a petition and she asked all her school members to actually sign the petition against cutting down of trees to save our planet and make sure that the cattle, because it's a pastoralist community, the cattle have water to drink and pastures to feed on. And we were just about to close the school, and we thought this is something that nobody could clearly understand what the end goal was. So she gathered all the signatures from the students and also asked the teachers. Surprisingly, when we closed the school, she went right home and gathered the signatures of all her village members around from who she could actually reach. And then in that short time holiday, it was just like, I think it was like 1.5 months, she traced the home of her member of parliament of that area, the member of parliament, the national government. And then this girl went and introduced herself, where she come from, where she goes to school, and what informed her quest of trying to mobilize people to join hands together and realize the urgent need for us to think of ways of giving an impact to the environment and saving our trees. And then now we got the information right from the member of parliament. Hello, do you know a student by the name so-and-so? I was like, yes, she's in my office. yes. And this was outstanding. I mean, this was something that actually was really outstanding. And she gave us really great recognition and the impact of a young person when a young person is actually convinced and feel that empowerment that she can actually make a change. Now, Rebecca's story is one of the many stories, but hers stands out because her story was published by a Shocker Changemaker in collaboration with World Readers. Actually, World Readers published her story as is now being read, inspiring young children across the globe of the need to actually rise up and make a change if they believe what they stand for is right. And that's what Rebecca did. Rebecca is the same student who actually was accepted by the Young African Scholars, a program offered by the Yale University, for leadership, because that is a leader, and the leader is what we need. That makes me so excited because, we're trying to actually equip learners to actually realize that they can make a change. And especially, they should not look at their gender, being girls, but they look at what they're capable of back in the society. And that really is really inspiring young girls of our age, not just young, even the community members, that yes, we can do this. So when the motto for the organization is changing life, the motto, the tagline is changing lives one girl at a time. And then if you can see that we're walking the talk and these are happening, then that actually excites me. So from that inspiration, we are having people making a difference. The recent story that I'm still much fascinated about, that I keep on sharing with people, is of this young lady who believed that she can actually do photography, video, and use that as a mechanism to give voice to girls in her society to directly talk to the world about the problems that they are facing. So she finished her Form 4, went and studied a bachelor's degree in media and communication, and she came back and worked and made a film with an organization called connecther.com. So connecther.com invest in young girls to share their stories with the world in matters concerning women and women rising their full potential. Now, the film that she made it to the finals with connecther.com, and that really is something because it's now helping a great deal into sharing with the world what it means to want a change, to long for a change. Amazing.
Wow, so that's so inspiring. I mean, I hear you, and same again, goosebumps. All this about teaching is learning, giving is receiving, and you got all this girl from where they come from. They went through the school and they give back to this community. And I'm sure you're still in contact, right?
We are in contact. And by the way, having mentioned Rebecca, I think you should meet Rebecca. She finished high school. She joined the university, and in her first month of joining the university, we just heard that she does singing. Traditional, like they sang to you. So she sang with passion about traditional songs, and one of her auditions, she did present that at the State House. I mean, she met the president ahead of me. Can you imagine that?
Wow, she's unstoppable.
Yeah, very nice.
So much about empowerment, agency, being able to have an impact on yourself, on your environment, set forth a purpose and go for it. It's just it's just amazing. And also this idea of this ecosystem you're building around you in your community, beyond your community. And now we see in the rest of the world. I mean, you've got connections all around the world. Those girls, they're a source of inspiration for so many people. Yeah.
And yeah, and thank goodness. I think it's one thing that I've learned that I see to be working well is realizing the value of relationship and investing in relationships and leveraging our education network to talk about matters or issues that really matter, things that really matter, and things that we need in regards to looking at in regards to giving platforms for the young generations, for the students we have. And that is why when I think about it, it reminds me of all the good and beautiful things that have so far happened from the time we actually met and talked and shared and discussed on ways to partner, collaborate, and to enhance opportunity for the people that we are that we care about, and that's the young people, the learners all together. So for instance, if I take just one particular example of us conducting 3 workshops with Thinking With You together, and I just look at the number of people who were at the different workshops and their contributions and their need to follow up and to participate, to keep, to be part of the process and of the change, and more so, their need to even want to know more, and that is only possible, I think, because of the kind of the way we notice that there is power in working together, in collaborating, in looking at the future and breaking the boundaries that can be posed by maybe geographical distance and things like that. So I think that through realizing the alignment in our missions and goals and in the education sector, I think by coming together, there is more lives that are yet to be changed by that simple connection. Because I've seen people who could really hear of this for the first time in those workshops and wanting to know more, wanting to get involved, and wanting to be part and parcel. I remember one person who joined the workshops followed up an email and sent me, I just can't help but think of how much I can be involved and be a mentor to one of the girls. You see?
Wow.
And really amazing.
Oh, so great, so great. Wow. Thank you so much for all those stories. I mean, I think we could keep on speaking for hours and hours, and we'll connect again, and we'll all work on different collaboration. That's for sure. Yeah. Actually, we miss the girls. Yeah, it's been a long time since we last connected. Magaga, I've got a request for you. I mean, just to finish, could you share with us a gift? Okay, something we ask to our guest. So a gift could be anything. Could be, say, another story, an anecdote. Could be a saying, a reflection. Anything you'd like to share?
I think the gift I'm going to share here comes from what I can call the genesis of my passion and the source of strength and conviction towards what I'm doing, and what I stand for. And that is quality education to girls and women empowerment. And this sometimes sounds really funny, because you might ask yourself, what is it, Magaga? You are here, and what is it with you with girls' education? I mean, what's the story behind it? But I will say that there is no country that can fully develop by ignoring the skills and knowledge of half its population, and that is the women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I will say, having been raised by a single mother and a very, very, very loving woman, I will say that an educated woman will most certainly make education for all her children, both boys and girls. And nothing or no one can replace a mother's love for her children. And I think going forward, we should have the conviction of seeing a way of striking a balance in solving major world problems by looking at the simple, because by then we are going to have a very good insight to world challenges like, climate change, resources like overpopulation, because I'm imagining a well-educated woman will most certainly be well informed about her health, food and nutrition, and of course, her environment. And these are key things that really go a long way to make a difference. So my gift is that may we be aware, all of us, may we be aware of the need to take part or action into ensuring that whichever level we can, to make sure that our children, both boys and girls, have equal opportunities to what we see ahead, education and all other that children are entitled to. Thank you.
Wow, no, thank you. That's beautiful. Thank you very much for this beautiful gift. Wow. Magaga, we cannot finish without me thanking you for your energy, for your smile, for everything you give over there every day. You're just you are a gift. so thank you for that. And of course we keep in touch, and we'll talk very soon, and we'll come up with new initiatives. That's for sure.
Thank you so much, and please keep doing what you do, and send my best to all the Thinking With You team. I'm always thinking about you, and I'm very sure there's so much ahead for us to work together in collaboration, and I really much treasure and appreciate how you also value the simple element of collaboration. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.